botalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki ikambo na salite bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongoka kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga mobali oya kokanga na makambo maso nalingaka naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo bana lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ayekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya katie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ayekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya katie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa kobotalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki ikambo na salite bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongonga kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga nazali na mobali oya kokanga na makambo maso nalingaka naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo bana lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga
Good evening, folks. Good evening. Welcome, Samson to Ladron Pub Radio. We're here again tonight to discuss issues in Liberia, specifically the president tour. I want you to tell me what you think, and I'll be opening the line here very shortly here tonight. We're not going to go that far for you to engage us. But there are a few things I want to point out before that. The first thing I want to do is safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening for bringing us back here together. Lord, nothing is guaranteed to us. What you give us is what we have. Thank you. Thank you for your blessing. Thank you for your mercy. Lord Jesus, we ask you to give us wisdom so that we will know what is happening with us, within us, and what is happening in our community. Thank you. Thank you, my Lord, because you continue to protect us. And we're here working day in, day out. Going to places where people are afraid to go because of the disease. But our sisters, brothers, mother, father, from the diaspora, they're all over going to work. Lord Jesus, you know we have two tables. We have a family here to feed. We have a family back home to feed. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, my Lord. There's nothing here that anybody hiding from you. So thank you for your mercy. Thank you for your protection, because through your protection and mercy, we're still here working and providing for the two families. Thank you, my Lord. We ask you to continue to protect us, bless us, and help us to move whatever that it is in our mind we want to do for ourselves and for our family. Help us to achieve it. We ask you to bless the country, Republic of Liberia. We ask you to bless the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. Give them wisdom, my Lord. for them to do good for our country. And bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Welcome, folks. Let's. My son is watching already. Thank you, Nelson. Welcome. I'm not too sure I'm going to be able to play your music yet tonight, but I'll do my best. But anyway, folks, Sam Sinto, LeBron Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again. We're going to have fun tonight, but before that, let's start the process. Let's start the show. The introduction of the show, folks. Sam Sinto, LeBron Public Radio. This is the President of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. Weah, who is most likely sleeping in Zouadrou tonight. In peace. In peace. In Grangida County, you go there, you sleep in peace. I say so. So President Weah is sleeping in peace tonight in Zouadrou. Welcome, Mr. President. We appreciate you coming to Grangida County. Of course, it's too long, but nevertheless, you're here. Thank you. Thank you. And I saw you walking, Mr. President. I saw you walking, climbing the steps to go to the palace, Mr. President. You look tired. And all your entourage look tired. Why? Because of the road. I'm glad you drove that road. Nobody gonna tell you anymore and say, oh, the road bad. As soon as they say the road bad, you know exactly what the people talk about. I'm glad you took that road. Thank you. Welcome. This is Grangida County. Fellow Grangidians, I also want to thank you this evening. You make us proud. Thank you for the overwhelming welcome to the president. You brought tears to some. In fact, Sekou Kalasco was in tears. Thank you. Thank you, Grangidians. But of course, since 2005, you have not given any other person your majority of vote except Dr. Weah. So there's nothing surprise here. The only surprise is Dr. Weah took too long to come to Grangida. Because Grangidians they don't split their vote. They don't wait for the second term. They give it to you the first time. They don't wait, they wait for a second term. No. Before they turn around. No. They give you. And that's one thing about Crown people. If they say, I'm with you, they're with you. They don't care what Samson told say. If the man can do that, they don't care. They give it to you, they're with you. Nothing you will do unless you make them to feel that they are not welcome. And when they turn, they turn. That's Crown men, the Crown woman, the Crown people. That's what they do. Entire Grangida, because Grangida County is not all Crown anymore. So, but I'm just talking about the culture. The culture. Let me just tell you a little bit. Back in the days, according to the story from my grandfather, my father, and everybody else, when they're fighting war, they don't just get out and go fight. Grangidians, they don't just get out and go because you took woman from here coming to fight today. No. You will kill somebody from the town. They don't just get out and go fight. They come and complain to the old people in the town. Say, look, what is boy did? And then the boy start making big mouth. What you will do to me? Nothing. You can't do nothing. Then the chief then in the town say, you can't do nothing. Nothing you can do. Say, okay. So what do? They don't rush. That's one thing about Crown people. They don't rush. Then they start complaining to the villages around that town. To say, you see what the man did? Look at this thing here. What do you think? To the chiefs, different chiefs. Then it's okay, keep complaining. You mail around. Then you go then they have some sort of a council. Then it's okay. All the chiefs from the different villages, then they send somebody to that town. Say, tell the chief over there, we want to see him. The chief over there, if the chief in that town doesn't want to talk to him, you know what he do? You know what he will do? He will cut the messenger ear. True story. Cut his ear and say, now go tell your people, nobody come back here again. Sometimes they will cut the fingers. Sometimes they will chop on his feet. I know a guy in town. I saw on his feet where the people chop his feet just because of something like that. I know that one. Those of you that are from town about my age, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But the Crown people, they don't rush it. So they say, okay, you want war? With all the chiefs and the villages are quite aware of what is happening now. They say, okay, quiet. Go do what you have to do. If you need people, will help you. Because they themselves are tired with this behavior. So when they go to that town for war, nothing standing in that town. You know, I don't grow so I told to say, we yo, Moko, you do your play to your America, you sounds simple. No, but this is a true story. There's a town. I'm not going to say where now because many of you, but there's a town where similar stuff like that happened. And when they went to that town, the blood from the human being may go to the creek. And today the creek is still there. They named the creek blood. It's there. The people from that area, you all know what I'm talking about. So Crown people, when they say we were you, they were you. But if they say no, I'm not with you anymore, don't worry yourself. They're done. So Dr. Weir, welcome. 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 And some of us don't like, because I'm not sedition, but anyway, my brothers and sisters, they're in majority. I can say all I want to say here. They will say welcome. For me, it's too long. It took too long. That should have been done a long time ago. But thank you for visiting. And one of the most important things that I hope you pay attention to is the road condition. From Ganta all the way to Zwedru, the road condition. And I thank my good friend Opa Weeks, Kwame Opa Weeks, who continue to share some wonderful, wonderful video, which are beneficial to me because I'm an engineer, so I can look at those roads and try to make a story out of it. So I'm very grateful to Kwame Weeks. But the president traveled on that road, and it was muddy. It was muddy. So I'm glad the president, not before when he campaigned, he was campaigning, but now he's president. Let's see what's going to happen now. He got 3 more years, he said. Let's see what's going to happen. Thank you very much, Samson Tola, Brown Public Radio. Folks, so let's look at the video. I'm going to show you 2 videos here tonight. The politics, they want part that I hear to come, sugar, anything. Somebody asked earlier, when we're going to bring Prophet Key. Mr. Alfonso was able to host a Prophet Key here some time ago. So Smooth hosting Prophet Key today. It's not the first time that Prophet Key has gone on other platforms. Prophet Key was here on LeBron Public Radio. I had a beautiful conversation with Mr. So. Didn't use his usual language. In fact, I would say that you are much more professional and polite to Mr. So than he was with the group today. If you watch the show, it was very interesting. So, but I just, if you think we're sitting down, no. But let's get back to this meeting here. So the president went to Zwedru today. He went on a county tour, they call it. They call it county tour. You know, he went to Bon County, Nima County, and Grand Gila, and other places. He's still going, but now he's in Zwedru. And one of the reasons, according to the story, was that the president did that. He went to the county tour just because he wanted to acquaint himself with the people and also dedicate some of the projects that he have initiated or the project that finished, whether it be vertical or horizontal project, you know. So he's going to dedicate those projects. He also, according to the story, he's also going to familiarize himself with places. And so we saw the president brushing today. And I said, yeah, come here. Good thing you grew up. Good thing you grew in Morel because you're going to be so hungry. What kind of color you using like that, cutting bush like that? That bush you cut him? Amen. That bush, that kind of cutting bush you are dependent to be able to eat. You are not going to eat in the countryside. That chimney, that president cutting, you supposed to put coal, the one we call coal, you take the bush like that, pwa, 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 and you lay it one side. And you think I lie? And you want me to show you my video? You take the dirt and go the whole bush and go two, and lay it one side. And then you look behind. The women sinking behind you. You hold on to spider, snake, it doesn't matter. You hold it, poo, and you lay it one side. You're making your roll. Then you come back and you go on the other. In the meantime, you got the people sinking, calling your name, calling your mom name, calling your pa name. By that time, you don't even know whether you're alive. All you know, you're brushing. Kind of brushing today, plakaka. I say, Mr. President, please get out of that farm and go back to Montreal. Yeah? Our CDC way of brushing. Oh, okay. But no, you watch the president. But he did well. You know when the president was going on the farm, you saw he climbing this hill, right? President, Dr. Weah, he's something else. He was climbing the hill. And out of a second, you can feel it. You know, if you watch the video, you can feel it. That he wants to run to climb the hill. He thinks he's still playing football. Then when he started, he said, nah, I'm a president now. So then he won't run again on that, nah. Twice as happy. I will show you the video one day when I showed it. But it was very interesting. Who is this one? Okay. Okay, I'll call back later. Sorry about that. Okay, but anyway, so the president went to Zwedru today in Grand Gillette County, and he was as somebody who remember Liberty Party, it scared me. All the people I've been making 2023, when I saw what happened today, it scared me. But then I thought to myself, wait a minute, something too. Is it not the same Dr. Weah in December? They were holding people's hands, thousands and thousands of people at the stadium. What happened to the end? They got shellacked. So I was thinking to myself, I was scared. But then when I thought about Moserado County, I said, no. But then I said, but wait a minute. Grand Gillette County, Dr. Weah, they all were together. So what's the big deal? But the amount of people as he traveled that's showing up, and we opposition, we better start thinking, we got to do our own trip too. We got to do our own trip too. Not the banana and fufu trip I'm not talking about. We got to do our own, because the one here, it's a little bit concerning. And you know, we got 2023, we still got 3 more, but it's a little bit concerning. Because the way people were coming to the president, coming in like that, I'm a little bit concerned, my people. I'm a little bit concerned. But then I'm thinking to myself, that, wait a minute, Mr. Tor. This is the same thing the president was doing over there in Moserado County, Grand Bassa County, McGivey, and all those places, and they got flock. So what's your worry? But, hey, my people, they cannot crowd the president attracting a few days. It's scaring me. Hey, I got to be truthful with you. Hey, what kind of business is this? But, as God could have it, the president have with him Samuel Twe. And Samuel Twe can't close the mouth. And every time Samuel Twe close the mouth, my heart go boom and settle down. Before, when the president going, then my heart go tu. Then but when Samuel Twe open your mouth, then my heart go boom. Then I know we got it. So we got Samuel Twe videos as well. But Samuel Twe, when he's talking, It's strictly from the way, the kind of conversation they've been having among themselves. These people refuse to learn. Dr. Weah and his people just refuse to learn. They refuse to learn, my people. You know, politics, and of course, I've never ran a campaign before. No, I run campaign for, who I run a campaign for? No, I run campaign before in my life. But speaking about campaign, let me tell you something about campaign. My son is watching right now. Nelson is watching. So when he and his brother were in junior high school, the brother wanted to be president of the student council. Nelson, on the other hand, decided to join with the opposition. Why? He said because his brother liked to pinch him and then lock him up in a closet. So Nelson went and told the opposition that his brother Samson can put him in a closet and pinch him, and therefore he's not supposed to be president. So these young people took that. When they went to debate, they brought it up. That this man who wants to be student council president, he's not even treating his own brother nice. We got the information from Nelson. Samson's still mad about that. But of course he won the election, but he's mad about that still. I'm just this is a younger brother. I'm just telling Samson's still mad about that. But anyway, politics is very funny, folks. Okay? In these type of situations, especially in a national issue like this here, in Liberia, you have an election, and the election turned against you badly. You would think that these people would try to look inside themselves, retrospect, and say, where are we? And perhaps take a second turn. Okay, what is it that we're doing? Why do we? Because most of our country was supposed to be their backyard, and nobody should be able to win most of our country but them, CDC. So this was supposed to, but they didn't ask themselves a question. Folks, I will play Dr. Weah now in Zedru late this evening, and then after that, I will play Samuel Twain. Okay? So let me go ahead and put Dr. Weah. It's amazing. It's amazing the amount of people that turn out. But I'm getting to understand Liberian politics a bit by bit. Because it doesn't mean that when you pull crowd like this, that doesn't mean that's the kind of crowd that will come on to your aid tomorrow when you're running for something. So we'll see. But let's play. Again, I want to thank Grandians for showing love to the president. If I was in Liberia, I wasn't going to vote for this president, but the people did. And for Grandians to show love to the president, it means they're on board. And that's how they're supposed to be. We will wait until the election time, then we will run campaign. But for now, we're supposed to work together. And from that perspective, I want to say thanks to Grandians, because Grandians County already have a bad book. They're in bad book with the opposition. The way they treated Yaga Kaluba and Armo Collins, the comments the last time was terrible. But today, they, in a sense, redeemed themselves, I would say so. Let's play the video. Samson told Liberian Public Radio.
This is Zulu Whiskey. His Excellency George, we are just into Zulu Whiskey. This is Zulu Whiskey for you.
That was just the president. The president in his bedroom. And he was welcome, you know. Granadians opened their arms to the president, despite the fact that Granadians continue to suffer in terms of roads and everything else. And despite the Granadians are always at the back burner of everything from my perspective. You can disagree with me, I don't care. I say so. However, they still love the president. And folks, this is what I've always said. When it comes to popularity in Liberia, not just Granadians, nobody can stand Dr. Weir. However, one of the interesting things that is happening in Liberian politics now, these young people, they are becoming more sophisticated in terms of politics. What the government's supposed to do at certain time, and what are they, when it comes to the finances of the government, how is government managing the finances of the country. People are wise to that now. So they can welcome you, they can do everything for you. But with this type of crowd, when that turn to numbers tomorrow. And the interesting thing is, what we saw in Moserado County, I'm not too sure if CDC and Dr. Weir should sit and try to enjoy themselves. But they don't believe anything happened. They don't believe they did anything wrong. They don't believe they have done anything wrong. Let me read something to you very quickly, then I'll play the video that I'm talking about. In the apropos agenda, Dr. Weir is welcoming fellow citizens, he said, but all the way down, he said, we cannot develop Liberia without quality infrastructure and a skillful labor force. In this regard, we foresee a new Liberia that is technically enabled with information and communication technology playing a fundamental role in improving the lives of all citizens. So if you're somebody who comes to this thing with closed mind, you will take this comment that I just read and say, okay, then where are we now? But if you're coming to this position, like me, open mind, you will say the trip the president is taking is part of this, so that he will find out perhaps what is happening and what is lacking and what's happening, what's going on. Okay? So that for me, that is the trip the president is taking. All right? So he's going there to find out what's going on, what are some of the things people need in these different counties. Okay? So I just thought that I'd read that. But as I stated earlier, okay, young lady, welcome back. I'm sorry, the last time. It's been a very tough time on our end as well. But God is in control, and we'll continue to pray for one another. I'm glad you're back, and I hope all is well with you and your family as well. Have our sympathy. Anyway, let's move on. So, the president, okay, finished going to this, he's still going to this tour, but he got Samuel Tour behind him. And this is what I'm going to be doing every time that I open my show. Samuel Tour continue to give me binary folder error. All they need to do is say, Samuel Tour, don't talk anymore. Because every time you talk, things go bad. Okay? Let's listen to Samuel Tour in Grand County. And then you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Samuel Twe and Samuel Twe believe that this president and this government are doing good, and they have nothing to worry about. He's not even concerned. He doesn't think about what happened in Montserrat County. Let's listen to Samuel Twe. The volume is a little bit low, but let's listen to Samuel Twe. Samuel Twe is coming on. Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio.
On this trip, you see the Minister of Finance, Minister Samuel Twe. Minister Twe. Mr. Twe, I mean, you just arrived here. I mean, I see a lot of people sharing tears on the social media, and people are truly overwhelmed by the reception, not only from here, since the county tour started. I mean, today coming here to see the Mama crowd, to welcome His Excellency George Weah. You here, you serve as an eyewitness to what transpired. I mean, what do you, as the Finance Minister of the Republic of Liberia, what do you say to what you see here today?
I was at the founding of the Congress for Democratic Change. And I rode with the president in 2005 on his first tour all through the country when we came. I was senior political officer. What we're seeing through these counties is what I saw in 2005. Remember, the president won Lima County in 2005. The response we saw in 2000 just recently beats the response that we got in 2005. So it's like a re-engineering of the revolution. What we just witnessed in Granville upon the arrival is unprecedented. Even the late arrival of the president, it just shows that people all over the country want genuine change. People want development. The people in Ban, Lima County, have named the president Saint-Domingue. They say it means nation builder. The people who speak you will understand that. It says Saint-Domingue. They've given the president that name, Saint-Domingue, the president who builds a nation. And so the president has this cachet down in Limba and across the country of somebody who is constructing the country afterward. It's in physical, tangible constructs evolving. Whether it's in roads, it's in buildings, he's a fixer. So that's what's keeping in their mind, and that's why you see all of this momentum. And this is coming after 3 years of turbulence on nothing but misinformation. Okay, so the reality is that a bunch of what has happened in the last 3 years have been on misinformation, like 16 billion. And the population was led to believe that somebody took 16 billion, and people were protesting about these kinds of lies. And people believe some of these things. I mean, 25 million that was never used, that was done by central bank people. People are talking about 25 million as if it's something outside the central bank. It's central bank staff. They're not political appointees. These are staffers who've been at the central bank for 20 years, some of them 15 years. They work on the walk-on, others who do their normal stuff. And they want to link it with political appointees. I mean, somebody told me, but if people are pinning 16 billion and 25 million on your government, Mr. Twe, then it looks like you guys should be very clean. Because from where I see is they're putting things on you that you've not done. Maybe you're doing things they should find out and talk about with the evidence, but they're making the public to talk about things that you didn't do, and that's what they want to define your government by. Now the public has come to understand that. No 16 billion missing. Okay, all of a sudden the dynamic has shifted. So there were, we went through the turbulence in the last 2 years with the coronavirus, the macroeconomic shock. But where we are now, it's very clear. In the action with ordinary people all across the country, people have seen the vision of the president. They now believe why they voted for this president, and this is a reaffirmation of their commitment to the president. The next 3 years is going to be even more interesting because a lot of the projects that are happening are going to come. Electricity is going to be solved. We're on the path to solving rice. The president was saying to me, there are 3 big things that we've never solved in this country historically. We've never solved rice, we've never solved light, and we've never solved roads. It looks like those three biggies will be solved on the judge here. And I think that's what the people have said.
Thank you, Minister Samuel Twe, the Minister of Finance of the Republic of Liberia. He's here to play his part, and he's been playing his part. And we will on this trip. You
see that? So when Samuel Twe comes out and make these kinds of statements, then my worry goes down. Yes, Samuel Twe talking about the $16 billion. Yes, Samuel Twe talking about the $25 million. Is that the right time to talk about those things? Yes, Samuel Twe talking about saying they're going to solve the light problem, they're going to solve the rice problem, they're going to solve the road problems. Setting expectation that they cannot carry on, they cannot afford that. But the way he's setting the expectation. And when those things don't happen, what would people think? It's a failure. You don't set these kinds of high expectations, especially in government. Especially being a finance minister. I don't know anything about financing, but I know money issue is fluid. It's dynamic. It's not static. It moves up and down. Things can go up and down. So when you set high expectation like this, and you're not able to fulfill that, it's a failure. Why was Samuel Twe, to be honest with you, this young man is having good time, the president is having good time, acquainting himself, getting acquainted with the people in Granjide, in Nima County, in Bon County. But Samuel Twe continued to talk over and over and say these things that perhaps that are not conducive to the atmosphere the president is setting. Is Samuel Twe, is this the right time to talk about $16 billion, $25 million? No, because when you do that, you continue to remind people why they believe that Dr. Weah is not able to deliver. And you sitting there, you heard Samuel Twe. Oh no, this is a very serious issue. You heard Samuel Twe said that the people know the president is up to the task. So what happened in Moserata County? This is your backyard. What happened? What happened in Moserata County? If the people believe the president is doing good, but Samuel Twe continued to do these things. When the president moved one step, Samuel Twe cut it down just by talking. Just by talking. You heard what Samuel Twe said. I'm not making it up. The people wait till next year. You'll see how much people. What happened? Are you're telling me that the road from Ganta to Zwetri will be built before this time is over? And not only that, will you be able to certify or fulfill the rights issue in Liberia, be able to resolve that issue? That Liberians are not going to be importing rice anymore? Will you be able to provide lighting, not just Moserata County, not just Monrovia, but the entire country? And you're telling me that's going to be solved. Samuel Twe, when you do these kinds of stuff, and this is what I keep saying, that because of your behavior, that Dr. Weah is suffering, you're condescending to people. You're very smart, very highly intelligent, highly intelligent, very, very smart, but you don't know how to talk. Why will you say, and I have another video, folks. Like I said, I'm going to be playing them little by little. I'll take my time. But why was Samuel Twe? You saw the gathering. You saw the people in Granjide County. Granjide County is almost 100% beyond Dr. Weah. Whether Samuel Twe talk or not, they're going to always vote for Dr. Weah. There's no question of that. But the other people around, they listen to Samuel Twe. And they're saying to themselves, oh, we try to warn these people in Moserata County. They're not listening. Listen to me. Moserata County, it's not all Gola people. Moserata County, especially Monrovia, it's a mix-up of the entire population You got people from Grand Gila, you got people from Lofa, you got people from Boncaster, you got people from Nibak, all over. They're all in Monrovia. And if they're trying to warn you and you're not listening and you want to continue to do what you think you're doing because you think you're right, these people will now start telling messages to their brothers and sisters back home. And these counties, sooner or later, they're going to start rejecting you. This is completely uncalled for. Samuel 12, just take your ride, enjoy yourself, don't say anything. If the press asks you to say something, say, let's meet in Monroe, we'll talk. The more you're quiet, the better the situation is. You saw the president. Folks, just give me 1 second here a minute. Auditor General report of factual finding. Factual finding. This is about the 25 million. The general auditing set forth condition relating to the condition of forensic audit and agree upon procedure. Okay? This is about the $25 million. Listen to this. On July 16, 20, yes, the book. Yeah, I'm not making it up. On July 16, 2018, the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Manuel Weah, addressed the nation on the state of the economy and announced an immediate infusion by the Central Bank of Liberia the amount of $25 million into the economy to map out exercise liquid of, or whatever they call it, of Liberian dollar. From this point, this is the report Samuel 12 says it exists. Okay? This is the liquidity, if you want to say with that. Okay. But I'm not going to go through this thing here tonight. But let me just read something to you. Entity, this is Samuel 12 baby, because he was the captain of this thing. Entity listed by the central bank, but indicated that they did not participate in the map-out exercise. Money, $491,769. Central bank and Samuel 12 people, they told the auditor to say, these are the people we give the money for map-out. These people, they called and the people say, we know what happened. We didn't participate. That Samuel 12 talking about $25 million map-out. Instead of us sitting there and say, oh, doctor, we are having good time, people love you and things like that. Now I'm going to take time because Samuel 12 opened his mouth. So now I'm going to take time to address that. Entity that participate in the map-up per CBL record but did not register per Liberia Business Register record, 27 of them. Money amount, $702,680. They ain't got nothing. Entity that participated in the map-up exercise record but did not answer or reply to telephone call. 52 of them. $1,092,292. Samuel 12, you're not in any position to talk about this map-up exercises. None. None whatsoever. This is the record. I'm reading here. I'm reading. You were the captain of the team, and you told the auditor, you and your people, they told the auditor to say, these are the people we give the money to. 15 of them, they said, we ain't get nothing. You might not even bother us. The money, they say they get to people, we know what happened to it. 491,000. We don't know. There's a lot here. And some of you are going to come out and like people are so stupid. See, when you do those kind of things, then it's disheartening. But I love it as an opposition. I love it. But on the other hand, as a Liberian, That's disheartening because then Samuel Twa is not being truthful. And as long as he doesn't recognize that they are not doing good, then he sees no reason to even try to do better. There's another video. He was talking to young people in Banga. And he's saying the people, the opposition make up the issue of the $16 billion, the opposition just make it up to tarnish the president's record because they don't want no development. When Samuel Twa make these kinds of statements, public uttering like that, that means, number one, and the president carries it around, that means the president is on board with the statement Samuel Twa is saying. And so for me, when I listen to these kind of stuff, I think, say, oh, okay, these people, they have no interest in trying to seek re-election. They have no interest in trying to seek re-election. Okay? I have the whole thing here. I have this report. I have the core report. But I'm not going to waste my time this evening trying to read this. So I just thought that I tried to do that. Let me put a number up to see if you guys, anybody can call me. It's an open line tonight. Samson told LeBron Public Radio, give me a call. And let me make sure my number is connected. But that's the number right there, folks. Why do I have to connect? I don't want. Oops. Okay. All right, give me a call. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. So this is. So the point, until I can hear from you, and let me just continue to say, because when I see the president polling crowd like that, of course as an opposition, yeah, it shook me. I'm shook up. But then when Samuel Twa kind of opened, I said, oh, okay, no need to be afraid. Because we would remind Samuel Twa, CDC and Dr. Weir of Samuel Twa's statement. He's been making a bunch of statements lately. But Lebanon dictator, we will remind them. We will remind them. We will remind the Liberian people, is it what you want? If this young man, Dr. Weir, respect you and believe in you, but you continue to drag him down, the man is just going, the county tour that should have happened a long time ago. You know what a county tour is supposed to be? It's supposed to be where you go to say, my people, you're 10 girls for voting for me. CDC is not Liberia. Morea is not Liberia. 3 years and nobody complaining. Look at the amount of people that show up whenever the president gets to the town. 3 years. And they're not turning their back on him. Then you, Samuel Twa, going to go from county to county and make the ridiculous statement as though the opposition just got up one day and say, oh, out of the blue sky, and say, oh, $16 billion missing. Oh, $25 million MAPA has issued. The records are there. So this is it. So if the president think that they don't want to listen, that's fine. It's music to my ear. Music to my ear. Because it seems to me, if they continue on this route, that means they don't want re-election. Because Liberians would not elect them anymore unless they change. Look at the economic situation in Liberia. Look at the road they themselves travel on. And I'm not expecting these people to finish the entire corridor, southeastern corridor immediately before they are turned over. No. But start something so that the next government, or even you coming next time, you will try to finish it. You can't tell me you're going to finish that road in 3 years. It's not possible. You can do it, but it's not going to be durable. You can finish, you can construct that road, but the road is going to be tearing apart before you leave office. That road has been torn up so much. So you not do patch here. You know what that road look like? It looked like some kind of clothes or pants that have been torn over and over and over, and then I put all kinds of patch to patch it. No more patching. That's why the soil, soil can tear apart. And sometimes when you try to put them back together, the soil chemical will not hold them together because they're all torn out. You got to move it and put new one in there. That Ganta and Tabata or Zadu Road, you're telling me you're going to build within 3 years? I don't see it. I just don't see it. This little bridge job we're doing here, a 3-year project. Just like Liberia. Wintertime, in fact, wintertime they're going to be working, but the major project the major job on that, they're not going to happen until summertime. Same thing in Liberia. If you want to build that road and you think you're going to build it in rainy season, then it's useless. So, folks, give me a call. The number is up there, 916-533-2048. So if you think, okay, so what's going on here? Yeah, this is just, okay, well, whatever. That's my number over there, folks. Give me a call. So Samuel Twa is telling people that opposition coming up with misinformation. You call it misinformation. You had the auditor report here. Let me take my time to go through it a little bit. Dear Minister, they're writing, we refer you to our engagement letter. I don't even want to read it in tonight because this is just ridiculous. Okay? Thank you for pinning it. Whoever pinned it for me, thank you. But that's my number, 916-533-2048. You got this here. Then the core report, I have it. Where do I have it? Oh, it's over there. I don't want to. Yeah. The beautiful thing that you yourself, Samuel Twa, put together. Propo agenda. You don't even talk about it anymore. Nothing. Yeah, the beautiful. Look at this here. Look at it. Delivering the essentials package of health service. Where is it? 14 medical hospital. Okay. Look at this. Strategy priority for health 2018-2023. Where is it? JFK. They don't get nothing over there. Samuel Twa, I don't know. I'm not blaming Samuel Twa for the ill of the society. Don't get me wrong. But if you claim to be as smart as he is, which I believe he's very smart, but you have to help people. You have to help people. You can't just get up and make the kind of step. Let me play the video again, folks, and then perhaps you will understand why I'm irritated with Samuel Twa behavior like that. Let's listen to Samuel Twa again. Let's listen to Samuel.
See the Minister of Finance, Minister Samuel Twa. Minister Twa. Mr. Twa, I mean, you just arrived here. I mean, I see a lot of people sharing tears on the social media, and people are truly overwhelmed by the reception, not only from here, since the county tour started. I mean, today coming here to see the mammoth crowd, to welcome His Excellency George Weah. You here, you serve as an eyewitness to what transpired. I mean, what do you, as the Finance Minister of the Republic of Liberia, what do you say to what you see here today?
I was at the founding of the Congress for Democratic Change, and I rode with the president in 2005 on his first tour all through the country when we came. I was senior political officer. What we're seeing through these counties is what I saw in 2005. Remember, the president won Lima County in 2005. The response we saw in 2000 just recently beats the response that we got in 2005. So it's like a re-engineering of the revolution. what we just witnessed in Grand today upon the arrival, it's unprecedented. Given the late arrival of the president, it just shows that people all over the country want genuine change. People want development. The people in Ban, Nimba County, have named the president Saint Domingue. They say it means nation builder. The people who speak Blue will understand that. It says Saint Domingue. They've given the president that name, Saint Domingue, the president who builds a nation. And so the president has this cachet down in Nimba and across the country of somebody who is constructing the country afterward. It's in physical, tangible constructs evolving. Whether it's in roads, it's in buildings, he's a fixer. So that's what's sticking in your mind, and that's why you see all of this momentum. And this is coming after 3 years of turbulence on nothing but misinformation. Okay, so the reality is that a bunch of what has happened in the last 2 3 years have been on misinformation, like 16 billion. And the population was led to believe that somebody took 16 billion, and people were protesting about these kinds of lies. And people believe some of these things. I mean, 25 million that was never used, that was done by central bank people. People are talking about 25 million as if it's something outside the central bank. It's central bank staff. They're not political appointees. These are staffers who've been at the central bank for 20 years, some of them 15 years. They work on the worker, others who do their normal stuff. Or they want to link it with political appointees. I mean, somebody told me, said, but if people are pinning 16 billion and 25 million on your government, Mr. Twe, then it looks like you guys should be very clean. Because from where I see is they're putting things on you that you've not done. Maybe you're doing things they should find out and talk about with the evidence, but they're making the public to talk about things that you didn't do, and that's what they want to define your government by. Now the public has come to understand that. No 16 billion missing. Okay, all of a sudden, the dynamic has shifted. So there were, we went through the trouble in the last 2 years with the coronavirus, the macroeconomic shock. But where we are now, it's very clear. In the action with ordinary people all across the country, people have seen the vision of the president. They now believe why they voted for this president, and this is a reaffirmation of their commitment to the president. The next 3 years is going to be even more interesting because a lot of the projects that are happening are going to come. Electricity is going to be solved. We're on the path to solving rice. The president was saying to me, there are 3 big things that we've never solved in this country historically. We've never solved rice, we've never solved light, and we've never solved roads. It looks like those 3 biggies will be solved on the church here. And I think that's what the people have said.
Thank you, Minister Samuel Twe, the Minister of Finance of the Republic of Liberia. He's here to play his part, and he's been playing his part.
Did you hear Samuel Twe? He said the people that were responsible. See, when they do these kind of lies, then it's just difficult for people to believe them. He said the people that did the map-up exercise, they were just a staffer at the central bank. Central Bank of Liberia staffer were responsible for the map-up exercise. Are you kidding me, Mr. Twe? Let me look at this thing here. Those people that were responsible, okay? Technical Economic Management Team, they call themselves. Okay. Mr. George, just hold on 1 minute, please. Let me read this here. Yeah. So Samuel Twe is saying that the people that did the map up for the 25 million were just staff from the Central Bank of Liberia. But listen to what the Auditor General gave us the information, who were responsible. Say, Technical Economic Management Team, Chairman, Honorable Samuel D. Twe Jr., Minister of Finance and Development Planning. He's not staffer. Co-Chair, Honorable Nathaniel R. Petrie, the third Executive Governor, Central Bank of Liberia. He's not a staffer. He's way at the top. Members, Honorable Wilson K. Tapper, Minister of Commerce and Industry. He's not a staffer. Honorable Thomas Dona, Commissioner General, Liberia Revenue Authority. He's not a staffer. And the list goes on. Okay? So even the Minister of State without portfolio, they are not staffers. These were people that were responsible for the map-up exercise. Now Samuel Twe is not telling us because he feels he's in Granjide, which is another county for them, which is okay. But why would you think people are just stupid in this place? He's telling us here tonight that the people that were responsible for the map-up, where it's just a misinformation. Minister Twe, good. Go ahead and do what you're doing. Continue with it. The sad thing is, Doctor, we are supposed to be enjoying the county tour, and every time you open your mouth, people will recall you, and I will get it, and I will play it. Mr. George, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it, sir. Go ahead.
Look, Mr. Twe, this is not by coincidence. It's not accident. This is Samuel Twe. This is why these people discuss when they bring in the Henneken, SO, and things. The person is strongly believe that no money got missed. But all these things is compiled within our report. But you see, Samuel Twe added the talking down on other people. They were just powerful. This guy is very arrogant. I tell people. But maybe the other thing, maybe you didn't see that kid. When they were in Bond County, when Samuel Twe was speaking to the young people in Bond County.
Yeah, I got it tape.
They remind me. I don't know. Most of them not think. I don't know why they didn't grab that part. When he was talking about the electricity, he said that Arrow the electricity 10 kilowatt library is the most expensive country now on the West Coast, which is 34 cents. Then he said, but even if we find how we make it to 20 cents, that was how some investors start looking for. Then he said, moreover, investors will come here, they will start looking at it and say, well, we can do business. Then he said, moreover, with our girls, then also here. What that table? And I said, why Samuel Twe? When we talk about investors coming here, then he said that they will cover also what we encourage them kind of women, our women here. And I think one of the women of Nigeria calling on Samuel Twe, that means you are telling them like these people are prostitutes. That's what Samuel Twe meant. Mr. Twe, if you better tell you that's exactly Samuel Twe said. That the legislature go down to 20 cents by what? That will also encourage for them more with our women in here, 5 women in here, something like that. Why would Samuel Twe be talking about investment and using Nigerian women as if to say these people, they got no pride for themselves, no dignity. This is this guy. In Bongani, they want to keep, as far as I keep. And I was wondering what is going through this guy's mind when he's speaking like this. Talking down, condescending way, talking down to other people, more especially the women. Why were you just arresting? I mean, that's all kind with it because they find women in Liberia. So, is that how this guy discuss or that how they talk about the women? This is why this man doesn't have respect for women. Samuel Twe said it on that tip. Maybe some tradition will say a lie, but they can play the tip and see what he said. Look, the president going on a tour, people coming to town, is normal, Mr. Twe. Even if the president is hit, normal people turn out just to see the president. We are sometimes just trying to see him. Not that they all love him, but just to see the president of a country. People turn up. But I just put it, look at what happened in Mosorano, in Nigeria, in Bon County. And the poor all the crowd there, what happened when the poor went to the ballot box? The result was different.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys have not learned the lesson. Some are saying that there have been no legislature in the country before. And I'm Mr. Twe, you can you imagine? So he's saying that the whole time there was no legislature in Liberia, so what time there are no legislature? You and I knew who grew up in Morovia. So what time? Did we ever experience shortage of legislature in that country? In Morovia? So Samuel Twe, when he's talking, it's like He's talking to children who just born yesterday that don't know anything about the tax.
No, but the sad thing about the sad, and I want to welcome my good friend who is watching. I'm not going to call his name, but when he's watching, but the sad thing about this thing is Samuel toward regular statements. Those are regular statements. They're not statements that is made, with unity in mind or what have you. What is for me? What he's doing is that there were so many sedition that worked so hard for this government to come to power. And Samuel Twain not even realizing that these kinds of statements turn voters off. And as a result, when they try to seek state power for the next time, most likely might not happen. So I'm just saying, this
guy is just arrogant. He's arrogant. He's talked down other people. He feels like he's the smartest person among everybody.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you.
This guy run the government. I can tell you. Somebody don't run the government. From the way he speaks, he runs the government. I can tell you. He runs the government. The way the guy speaks.
It's just very, very sad that here I am. I'm supposed to be dancing tonight because the way Grangidians welcome Dr. Weah is unbelievable. But here we have Samuel Twain statement. I just couldn't let that pass. But let me take this call, Pa George. Let me take this call. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Samson to Labron Public Radio. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yeah, Mr. To, this is Harrison Bajebo calling from Iowa.
Thank you for joining us, sir. What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, I just want to talk on two things that I see from that interview.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the journalists in Liberia do have their own shortfalls because if, the journalist that was interviewing the finance minister knows pretty well that the finance minister was the chairman on that committee. And so if the chairman tried to shift the blame on...
But the person is not a journalist. That Colasco is part of the, yes.
Then I see why, because he should have questioned the chairman on that committee, because the chairman is not actually exonerating the committee for any false play, and he's trying to shift blame. But he was the chairman, and a chairman is somebody who is steering the whole thing. So he should have broke that guy down by asking him, but then what was your role? If you're trying to blame that committee, for some deficiency, then what was your role as a chairman? You see, so it is true that Samuel Twain is not really helping the government. What Samuel Twain feels is that he try to capitalize on the literacy of the Liberian people. Liberian people, they are so emotional and they are carried away by simple things. They don't look at the depth, of what people do. The people, when they got in that, when they were elected, I remember the guy went to a Kobo shop together with the president, and they were eating, and they said they were demonstrating the image of the poor, but there's nothing like that. That could not be something that we would consider as poor. So Samuel Twain, I don't know. That's a higher degree of self-contradiction, because if I'm a chairman and I'm blaming people that are supposed to oversee, people that are supposed to check on, as a chairman, it's my responsibility if a committee fail or succeed, So, I mean, there's no excuse to Samuel Twain statement or his defense.
I agree. Thank you.
I just want to point that out briefly. Thank you.
Thank you. Give me a call, folks. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. The number is up there. But let me just read this here. On applying the agree upon, which is a procedure that was agreed upon between the Liberian government and the Arlington General. On applying the agree upon procedures of the U.S. $25 million map-out exercise conducted by the Central Bank of Liberia as member of the Technical Economic Management Team. And let me say this again: who is the chairman of the team? Technical Economic Management Team. Chairman, Honorable Samuel D. Toy Jr., Minister of Finance and Development. These are not people that are just a common staffer, as Samuel Toy will have us to believe. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. We can't live like that. We have to be sincere with each other. We have to be truthful with each other. So even if Samuel Toy have some issue with the way the procedures happen, but for you to come here and make a statement why the president is trying to be going on a counter tour, the citizens of Liberia jubilating, welcoming their president, and then you're going to throw this thing in there as though people around are not educated or they can't read or they don't know when you're talking. We have documentation to back what we're saying. Unless the Auditing General of Liberia is lying. So for you to come here and say and tell us that it was a made-up statement by opposition, made-up statement, misinformation. What do you mean by misinformation? This is some serious stuff. And I tell you this, I mean, if you guys don't win the next election, the next government will come after you for this money. And then that's when you're going to know whether the opposition were there to play around or not. Samson to Labron Pop Radio. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
This is Eric Talu, and I'm calling from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Talu. What's on your mind, sir?
What on my mind tonight is that I want to speak to the Liberian people and also the LPR radio and every other media. I'm from Liberia. I'm a Liberian. And my concern here is that why is it that all the media practitioners and radio station and all the people, why one day, you guys don't talk about other stuff besides politics? You don't talk about agriculture, how we can make progress in agriculture.
Should I just disabuse you immediately? Because I think you're stepping on my toe. No pun.
No, I'm not stepping on your toe. That's my opinion.
Listen to me. This is
you're supposed to let me in, Mr. Toe.
All right, go ahead. No, you're roughing me on the wrong side, but I'll be patient. Go ahead.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
I agree,
that's
and
what on my mind.
I accept it. Go ahead. Make your point.
So I've been following every other little thing about Liberia, but the problem I have with every one of you is that now one day you're bringing issue that beside politics, that will educate our young brothers and sisters that coming out in our country, that will make our country, get on the map. Everything is about politics. Besides politics, my little son, the 8 years old in my house, he asked me one day, he said, "Daddy, is that the only thing you got to do in Liberia is just politics? Because you see me every day. I follow you. I follow all the media group. So one day he asked me, is that the only thing in Liberia that people do?"
Okay.
You understand me?
Give me an example. Give me some example that perhaps things that we need to follow up or talk about.
Well, that's what I just said. Ali, you're not talking about agriculture, how we can put our people in. Look, let me tell you today, I monitor Grand Jide when President Weah was entering Grand Jide today. Let me tell you, in Burma, when you were entering Burma, we saw people bringing their agriculture product. When you were entering Nima County, are coming out.
No, they have an agriculture fair.
All right. When you were entering Nima, the same thing, they brought their agriculture, product. All right. I think that is fair continuous stay, right? They brought their product. But today, when President Weah was entering Grand Jide County, you saw Santa Claus, you saw culture true. These are the things they brought.
So
that's from my mind so much.
from listening to you, am I wrong to suggest that you're from Grand Jide?
I am from Grand Jide. And I'm from Grand Jide. But it touched me so much because you know what? Our people are not into this thing.
But here's the thing.
There should be a program that we should develop. We should bring up.
Why you're taking your frustration, the fact that
I'm not taking my frustration.
Agriculture. No, hold on. I'll let you talk. Let me talk now. Why are you taking your frustration? The fact that your people didn't bring agriculture in front of Joshua and brought Santa Cruz and cultural troop. Why are you taking it out on the media practitioner and the platform thing? But let me just disabuse you on that.
The reason is that
hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead. Give your reason.
Yeah, the reason is that these are the things we need to teach our people. We need to talk about so that way their mind will develop on this stuff. Because right now, our people's mind is not developed on agriculture. The only thing in a country right now is politics. Little children in a house, in a church, wherever you go, it's about all politics.
All right.
Nothing else to learn.
Listen to me now. I'm not too sure if you've been following my show at all, because
I mean that's what I call. I've been following you. That's what I call in because I've been following you most of the time.
Okay, most of the time,
yeah.
I'm an engineer, and all I talk about is road construction and road design, teaching people. I have even gone to Liberia to teach young engineers. So it's not like we just talk about politics. In fact, it came a time here that I resigned myself from talking about politics, but to talk about road and the pro-poor agenda. So the fact that you will say all we talk about is politics, I found that a little bit disappointing. And
well, that don't go to you alone. It's not just you alone.
That's fine. But we do our best here on Liberian Public Radio. We have another show here, a guy that will come out here and talk about Constitution, the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, educating people about the Constitution about Liberia. We have some young lady here that comes and talk about relationship, how to build character. We have the program from Liberia, young Liberians on LPR, that will talk about the political and the economic situation in Liberia, informing the Liberian diaspora. So we are here to inform people. So it's not just politics. But let me just tell you this, my brother. If that's what the people are giving us, then we will talk about it. So there's nothing else we can do. If the people are giving us, look at the kind of statement Samuel Tua is making. Do you want me to come out here, talk about Josh, we are going to Grand Jide, being welcomed, overwhelmingly welcomed by Grand Jide, and then Samuel Tua make this kind of ridiculous statement, and you don't want me to talk about it?
No. I'm not saying that, dude. I'm not saying I don't talk about those stuff. But what I'm saying, my idea here tonight is that we should be able to talk about things that will educate our brothers and sisters back there, that will help them to change their dimension. Instead of just one thing we talk about over and over and over, and even the baby that born today, when they come, they politics, they listen to.
You say so you're from Grand Jide. You say you're from Grand Jide. You say you're from Grand Jide. There's a video that's going around on social media where an old man said he's going to give his vote to Zopenu because Zopenu gave them a cup of rice and chikisu. Is that what you want us not to talk about?
So these are things you change when you change them in a way that when you start to talk about agriculture, when you start because you know what?
How can you just jump from somebody say we will vote for him because he gave us cup of rice and chicken soup? Is that how you want your people in Grand Jide country to give their vote for cup of rice and chicken soup?
What I'm praying to God to do is that if I'm doing something right now, but if I'm done in the future, I'm praying to when I get to Grand Jide, I'm going to launch a program that will educate our people when it comes to agriculture, because in the whole of Liberia, Grand Jide is just zero when it comes to agriculture.
Let me ask you this.
So I will launch a program.
It seems to me that you are involved, and I'm just speculating here. So if I'm wrong, please don't hesitate. I'm not old enough to eat crow. It seems to me that you are much more involved. Attention, most of your attention is focused on agriculture. Is it not correct?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
You got
Why
it.
don't you contact Mr. Alfonso Zionso, who is LPR executive director, and talk to him, see if you want to launch a show on LPR. And all you talk about is agriculture.
Well, I mean, I hope to. I mean, one of these days, anytime from now on,
Why should it be
he
one of
on.
these days? Why can't you jump
No,
on
I
the
mean,
opportunity so you will help to educate the people?
Yeah, well, we can do that. What I'm saying tonight, you on tonight. But what I'm saying is that I will try to call him, and then we can talk. We can find a time to do that because it's very essential to our people. It's very essential to our people.
Do you want me to give your number to Mr. So that when you call, he will know it's you?
Exactly. You can give my number. It's 865-291.
Okay. Yeah.
865-291 8455.
Yeah. 8455.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the name on that?
The name is Eric Talu. So that's
Eric Talu?
Yeah, Tarlue.
Okay. All right. I will pass that on to the executive director, and hopefully you guys can connect. But those are the kind of people we want. These are the kind of things we want. We want you to join us and educate our brothers and sisters.
Yeah, we need to. Actually, I went there last year, and when I went, when I traveled last year from Monrovia all the way, by road, and what I saw, it baffled my mind because in Burma and Nimakani, when you enter the places you eat, you got food all along the road.
Are you studying at a university studying agriculture?
We'll talk about that when the time comes.
Okay. No, the reason I'm asking is this. Because every one of us, whether you're doing your first degree or second degree, you always want whatever it is that you're learning, you want that to be applied to Liberia immediately because you see the benefit as you're studying. So we all know that. Every one of us.
Okay.
As an engineer, even when I was in engineering school, I'm saying all of these things that I'm learning, I would like to be applied for me to do that in Liberia. We all do that. But
that's what we mean. That's what we mean. Exactly.
I don't want you to give up either. But the people who are supposed to be the one to encourage you will be the one that will discourage you. Good luck, and I hope you'll contact Mr. So. Maybe you can come on our show. If you want, I can invite you and be my guest here so you can help us to educate us. Because many of us need that type of understanding.
That's all we need to do. That's all we need to do, Mr. So. That's all we need to do. Definitely.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. So and Mr. Cole.
That's okay. Thank you. You see what I'm talking about? You know what just happened? This government, if this government was smart, Liberia would not be suffering. We have so much competitive spirit in us. It's unbelievable. This young man that I just talked to, he's from Grand Guinea. And when he watched the president go into Bon County, all they show is agricultural material, rice, different things. He said, okay, maybe that Bon County. He kept his school. Then he watched, when the president got to Nimba County, same thing, agriculture. Everybody showing food. Even the president go on the front to brush. He said, Bon County, Nimba County, okay, let's see. The president got to Grand Guinea. You see what I'm saying? The president got to Grand Guinea. People started dancing, playing drum, no food, no rice. It's competitive spirit took over him. Then I, being a crown man, I'm sitting down here. I'm not talking about agriculture. I'm talking politics every day. You got to call my show. Look, these things, and this is what I'm saying. If this government or any other government, if you can tap into this competitive spirit among Liberians, we will do well. But you have to be very careful that this comparative spirit does not turn to tribalism. And there are ways you can control that. For example, this man this young man most likely doing his master in agriculture. So you take this man, don't send him to Grand Gide, send him to Lofa County to teach over there. He come from there, then he say, okay, go to Grand Gide and do X, Y, and Z. So by the time he leaves Lofa County, he would have already established a relationship with friends and brothers in Lofa County. He comes to Grand Gide, the culture that he has learned, the way Lofa people behave toward each other, he will also bring that to Grand Gide. And that will open up his horizon, in other words, how to interact with other people. But this is what we don't know, and we don't do that. This is the perfect example of what we're talking about. The guy won't even let me talk because he felt I'm wasting time. Why am I talking politics? What can I talk agriculture? His anger, well, not anger, frustration, and his comparative spirit as a crowd man. How the heck they go to Bon County? Everybody, they're producing food to eat for themselves, and they're showcasing that. They went to Nimba County, they're producing food for themselves to showcase. They want to grind there. All they do is beating drum. Blah, 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 blah. No, I'm laughing, but he's very hurt. You can tell from his engagement. He's very hurt. Why would we sit here, me as a crown man, and I'm talking politics? Why Bon County and Nima County producing food, and I'm not talking about agriculture to educate my people? Now, if the government, and he's not unique. Other counties, students here in a diaspora that are studying in different fields, they want those. All of you that have been to school, you know what I'm talking about. Whether you're in criminal justice or lawyer or whatever, things that you're learning, you say these things can be applied in Liberia to move the country forward. So it's not unique to him. But for him to come on my beautiful platform and say, Mr. Toe, you're not doing the best thing. You do every day, all the platform, all you're talking about politics. Until I push him, and then he gave up. He said, yeah. What? From his statement, you know very well that he's hurting, not physically, but as a human being. This young man seemed to be a competitive person. I'd like to have him on my soccer team. We will win. Because he's thinking of producing, of winning. Now think about it. As energetic as he is, and if with all this energy that's running through him, as soon as he finishes a program, you pick him up. You send him to Grand Bassa County. The man start doing work over there. So by the time he cool down and try to settle down, Grand Bassa County food will be there based on this young man's ideas and the way things that he has learned. I'm not even talking about taking, because if you send him to Grand Gide, you will defeat the purpose. You will defeat the purpose. Send him to different county. Let him be part of that process. It's very interesting. Sometimes you're in any kind of business, you pay attention to things, things fall in your hand. And this is what I'm talking about. These are some of the things people like Samuel Twain, they're missing. You got young Liberian, sophisticated Liberian, highly educated Liberian, young people, young. They still have that energy. Somebody, engineer, young engineer, say, okay, let's go build a road in Liberia. They're not sleeping at night. They're getting together, how to fix problem, how to resolve issue. They all go and give the contract to Lebanese to build your road. that Lebanese man will build road in Grand Judea and he doesn't live there? You think he cares much? What does he even know about the forest? Who can he contact? What is the level when the rain, 25-year storm, what is the level of the area? What is the level of the water level in that area that he's trying to put a cover or trying to put a bridge on it? I, in the hand, can't do that. When I get there, I will ask the people, because when I start speaking my real Liberia English, the people in that town will say, yeah, okay, 10 years ago, you see that mark on that tree? That the water place there. With that kinds of knowledge coming from that old man, I will now say, okay, if that tree, if that's what his watermark is, then this definitely, the pipe will be small. That's how you do these things. That's why you need the people from this area to be part of the process. But you'll go hire Nigerian, Ghanaians, and Lebanese to build your road. Good luck. Anyway, my man, I already seen a Bible woman. I rush the man. The man anxious. He anxious to go to Liberia. He even know what are the government putting money into agriculture, but he anxious. Your lead. They will bust his bubble. He will come here with 2 master degree. He will come with 2 master degree, and then get to Liberia, where you say, "I got 2 master degree in agriculture. I'm here to help." Let me take this, folks. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yeah, Mr. Toro, good evening. My name is Fred Dennis Namwe. I'm calling from the state of New York.
Thank you for joining us. What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, I'm following your show, and I'm one of your followers.
Thank you.
I like your presentation. You always discussing issues, and Alfonso and the other old man.
We all old man.
Yeah, I just forget your name. I call you old man.
Mr. George, Amos George.
Yeah, George. The fellow that just called, I like the way, you engage in. Our day-to-day activity, it have to it's political. It's political. Why is it that he's coming to say that, every now and then, politics? So, my point that I'm trying to make, besides this fellow issue, a point I want to make is this government, I supported this government from 2005. CDC, I supported CDC. I voted for CDC 2005. I voted for CDC 2011. In 2012, I came to the States. And we all supported the government one way or the other. But the government doesn't mean business. The government is a 419 government, Mr. Tu. The government is a 419 government.
But let me push back on that a little bit, if you don't mind, because I don't have evidence of that. When you say what exactly are you talking about?
What I'm saying is, the government, they pretend to the people that it means well, and it doesn't mean well for the people. People are saying that, the boss get a country at heart, you get a country at heart. George Weah doesn't have the country at heart. George Weah, he doesn't have the country at heart. George Weah came to power in no time. He started breaking a property that rebuilding. Right now, George Weah He get more than 45 houses. Where you got the money from? I'm in New York. I'm in Staten Island. The house that George we have bought that he was living in. I see the house every day. Every day I pass him want to go to work. Yo, man, I have millions of dollars. That horse, it doesn't represent a millionaire horse to be in America yet. They're making the power in no time. You start acquiring property. The first blow that the government made was the past regime was not audited. Then they said the fighting corruption. They said burning some kind of money issue. Before Ali could leave power, the issue of the money came about. They discussed it here, Eddie. All I thought that this time now they coming to file bodyguard or someone got guilty to restitute the money. The government is not serious. This government is not serious. Our people are suffering. People get their personal money in a bank in Liberia. They can't get it. And then people crying. Then the men going around doing groundbreaking. What about it? What about it out of something they said they're going to do? Where are other people in the buy in the country that said our investor? Where are they? Where are investment to carry on? Why Bamaloo? This government is a 419 government. That government, none of them serious. None of them serious. And one of the things that really getting to me, Liberia will have 16 tribes. I'm from Grand Creek County, Southtown, where Georgia came from. But I'm totally against the Southeastern to be the president pro tem, the deputy, general speaker from the Southeast. Instead of being geographical balance. It's wrong. A bad precedent. We are setting. You can't have one set of people from the Southeast dominating the entire government. I can remember on your television show, by George, you said a government or a crew government. And I said, no, it is not crew government. But the people are proving that this government is a crew government. I'm a crewman, I'm seeing it. I'm a realist. I don't back wrong. So that's the point I'm making to you, Mr. Toh, and thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you, my brother. But before you leave, can I say something to you, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
These are topics that are very emotional, and I understand these things. But I will ask you, your health is very important, because if you are healthy, you can bring out some wonderful suggestions for your brothers and sisters back home. Everything that you're saying here it's not necessary just for you, but for the people back home. Because for you right now, you can go.
I'm sorry for screaming. It's like to me.
I understand. I understand.
I'm not cutting you 1 minute. The reason why I'm saying that is, don't regime. And when every clubman was enjoying, when I told you, they went after everybody. They were killing crime people in the street that chicken. So it's a bad precedent that the government is setting. It's going to be geographical balance.
Okay. I understand. I think like Liberians I hope they pass that now, where they will try to guilt by association. I think they will pass that. But I thank you very much. I just want us, when we're having these kinds of conversations, let us not try to raise our temperature because these things are all emotional issues. I know if our brother was doing something that is beneficial to all of us, I think we will be praising him. But you have the right, and then you must criticize because that's about the only way we're going to move forward. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. To. Thank you very much.
Samson to Labron Pub Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. To?
Thank you for joining us, sir. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Eugene Howard. I'm calling from Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining us. What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, I was just listening to the past caller, and he like screaming, and he angry and other things. And like, he don't know the issue. I heard you talking about like the protest, the speaker, everything that's that. Those people were elected by the party in the house. So they never just took that position. They were voted for. If you don't know our constitution, you need to go back and read it. Did you say all the it's not for South?
But listen to me.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It's constitutional. I don't believe the young man was accusing them of doing something that was illegal. But I hope you understand his frustration as well. Now, hold on now. Hold on. I'll let you talk. Let me finish. The point that I'm trying to make is this. These things have happened before. Where crown people, when Doe was in government and during the war, they were hunting crown people because of Doe. Even if some of the crown people have nothing to do with Doe, but the mere fact that they were crown, they were coming after them. And this is what their concern and the frustration is coming about. Because many Liberians now are saying that this is a cruel government. And he being a cruel person is saying, no, this is not. But then on the other hand, when he looks at the people that are leading, causing him to have these kinds of reaction.
No, look at me. Let me put a correction. I'm not cruel. I'm a Basel man. I'm not cruel. But it tells us the ideology of our people in the house and it's Senate. If the person is cruel, and the cruel man comes out in the house and says you're going to be speaker, and the rest of the people voted for it, they got a problem.
But let me ask you this. Do you think, in as sophisticated as you are, you think many of your brothers and sisters back home will be able to objectively understand what you just said?
But especially our people that are in the house?
No, I understand that. No, I mean our brothers and sisters that are in the street, Liberians in the countryside, whatever. You think they will be able to understand if you have all these cruel people just in leadership? Will they be able to understand that these people were elected legally?
That is not a point.
Well, that's the point, but that's the main argument. That's the point he's making.
Listen me now. There is our responsibility as people who learn a little bit, like on the show, and like he who's yelling at us, he's supposed to be the one to try to educate people, so our people will know what's going on. But he can use that.
What are the educational process? What are the educational process you think this young man should have taken?
Like you said, the first thing to do that is just for the first thing to do is like our people in the house supposed to make sure that they elect a different crowd in other position in the house, like the speaker, like the protest, the deputy speaker.
The fact you were not listening. The fact that the man was talking with emotion, that does not divulge with his own idea of trying to do exactly what you're asking. That's exactly what he's trying to do. But what I'm telling you is that, listen to this.
And that's why he showed a little bit of ignorance to be talking emotional. It's not to be emotional. It's an issue that
how are you going to act? You see, when you talk like that, then you're not being sincere either. How are you going to tell the man to divorce his emotion out of something that is so emotionally charged?
No, it's not emotional. It's how you put your feelings into it. That's why it becomes emotional.
Well, exactly. Now, listen to me. Listen to me. This man is coming from a perspective, from what I heard from him, from a perspective of the past, where he himself saw or heard that Crown people were being hunted because of Doe being president. And the Liberian people perceive the government, Doe government, to be Crown government. That's the point he was making. And so now, once again, Liberian people are associating Doe, we are, to Crew government. So now his concern is, if anything happened tomorrow, people will do the same thing that they were Crown people. So are you not sympathetic with his position?
No, I'm not. I'm not sympathetic, and especially you too. You should be the one to try to verify that correction he's making.
No. I'm not going to do that. That is not my job. That is not what I do on this platform.
No, it's as a talk show host. That's a
no. I'm not going to tell the man, first of all, to control his emotion. No, that's not my job. I didn't put him in that position.
I'm not saying him to control his emotion, but tell him the fact.
What fact? What is he saying that is not true?
That the government is a coup government. And you sort of report that. I said no.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah.
He didn't say the government is a crew government. He said people are saying that this government is a crew government, and he gave an example.
Who people?
The last time he gave an example.
That he's taking.
Okay, so because if it is his opinion, now listen to yourself. You want me to correct the person based on his opinion. You want me to say your opinion is not right. This is an opinion you should take.
No, I never said that. I said,
but how you want me to correct him? How is it you want me to correct him?
Saying that it's not a coup government. Those people in the house, other people, they were elected by the colleague.
I understand that, and that's the reason why I asked the question. But you are not paying attention to my question. Let me ask the question again. Take your time. Let me ask you the question again. Being as sophisticated as you seem to be on this issue, because your argument is that these people did not come to the position through the back door. They were elected by their colleagues, who were also elected by the Liberian people. So their position, obtaining those positions, is legal. It was nothing unconstitutional. Now, the question that I'm asking you is this. You, with your understanding, with this particular issue, do you think that many of your brothers and sisters back home are on the same level in terms of sophistication to be able to understand all of these things and be able to rationalize like what you just did? You think many of the Liberian people are able to do that?
Yeah, I think they can.
Oh, okay.
It's simple. They can't now.
So why didn't they apply those type of that particular logic when they were going after Crown people because of Doe?
Mr. Two.
No. Answer. You never heard that before?
They were ignorant. That's why they did that.
And that's exactly. So you want to tell me Doe has been gone now for almost 10 or 15 or whatever years. You want to tell me Liberians have now graduated from ignorance to now being sophisticated? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, yeah, a lot of them. Not because now politics is all out today in Liberia.
So you want to tell me? Let's go into statistics. So you want to tell me that many of the Liberians that used to think associate Crown with Doe government. You want to tell me that many of them have graduated from that position? What percentage will you put on that?
I would say Liberia now 60 this is what they say talk politics.
Give me percent. Give me numbers. I like numbers.
Okay, I think 60%.
50 or 60? You say 60?
60.
So every 6 Liberian out of 10 believe now that what happened during Doe time, if they are gone back, they won't do the same thing.
Yeah, they won't do it.
Okay, what happened to the 4? What happened to the 4 out of 10 that still believe that?
Those are the ones that they keep the mentality. They think about cowardice here.
So why now you want this man not to bring that up if you still have 4 out of 10 still believing the way they believe?
No, listen, I expect him
he has traveled from Liberia, come to the Western world, and understand how things work. You see, that's our responsibility. Those who God has blessed, we travel to other countries and see how other people live and live with them and see how things work. How things work.
Okay.
It's our responsibility to educate our folks back home and tell them the way we use the TV food. That's not how things work.
Okay. These are what I want to tell you because I'm going to take leave of you. What I want to tell you.
Anyway, I saw two times today. It look good today. I saw it today. I saw it two times today. Give the person a rousing welcome, man.
Yeah, that's total.
Every time I get you, my total. I saw it today.
That's right. That's total. No, but on a very serious note, my brother, when we come to these kinds of discussions.
You know where you come from?
Yeah, I'm from Total.
I think when the poke that time, your town will be beautiful.
They ain't got money to poke down that town. They ain't got money. They ain't got money to poke. They're not even going to pass second period. That's the first thing. So okay. before it's turned over. But anyway, right. let me just say this here before you go. On a very serious note, just note that in as much as you are sophisticated when it comes to these kinds of issues and things like that, and I think you have demonstrated that here equally tonight, which we respect, let us also understand that when we come to these kinds of discussion, they're emotionally charged issues. So you can't say
it's not Mr. Two. I would disagree.
Okay, you have the right. But let me make my point. You have the right to disagree with me. I don't expect you to agree with me. That's okay. That's what it called discussion. But let me finish my point. So when we come to these things, we should allow each other to express ourselves freely, even if you don't agree with me. But let it be done civilly. You can't say no, I don't agree with you, and the fact that I don't agree with you, don't say what you're saying. I can sit here right now and go outside and say the sky is all red. What my eyes is seeing, your eyes is not seeing it. Perception. So you can't come to this discussion with a closed mind and say, this is what I think you're supposed to say, and that's what you need to say. Have an open mind. You don't have, the people will not agree with you all the time. So make your last point. So that I can listen.
And Mr. Two. And this you guys who are talk show hosts team. You are there to discuss the issue and rectify the issue. When you know about it. Like today, I'm watching School Talk. When Pastor Keith said President Oki, the EPS guy. You see, what said? Do you have proof to say that? He said he got a recording, but he will not show it. So if the CEO said no, if you say that, we will not agree with you. Because when you come on the show, we want the facts, and the fact speaks for itself. So when you just said President, we are killing the EPS man. It's not true. Will not believe it on our platform yet. We'll tell people that's not true, and they can show facts.
Yeah, so, if you come out, if somebody come out, listen. You see this. You see what you're doing right now. This is what in engagement I call this muddy the water. Prophet Keys says somebody killed somebody.
You said the president.
It's quite different than this man thinking and believing that the fact that you have crewman, a chair, I don't call it a speaker, crewman, deputy speaker, crewman, president of pro tem. You got crewman, president. So those are four important government position in government. So he's believing people have already saying that crew people are. This is a crew government. So that's a different issue for me to challenge him. So I'll say thank you very much. Let me just take the other call. Thank you very much, my brother. We appreciate it.
All
right. Samson to LeBron Pablo, what's your name? Where you're calling on this Friday afternoon? Thank you for calling anyway. Go ahead, make your point.
Hi, this is Dr. Barton Kula calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
It's about
I
time you come to my aid. Either you come to
I
disabuse
came to
me.
your aid.
Uh,
No, I'm coming to your aid. I came on the show a little late, but I hear somebody complaining about the fact that I think this we as government was called a coup government or something like that.
right.
Is that his argument?
Right, and I should have disagree with the guy and try to educate him to say no.
No,
Let me explain his side.
that is not your
He
place.
said
But go ahead.
he
Go ahead.
said the people that were considered to be crew who are in the top position came to this, which is quite correct, came to this position because their fellow colleagues in the House and Senate elected them. So they didn't come, it was not in violation of the Constitution. But the point was, nobody's talking about violating the Constitution. People believe now that this is a crew government, despite the fact that these people are elected. So go ahead, help us out.
Yeah, I mean, people rightfully are saying this is a coup government because it's heavy on the coup side. I mean, I just posted something on your site where somebody listed over 20 people that are either from the southeast, you know, and are somehow of that. I guess they call it the crowd group. You know, yeah, which is the crew, Gribble, Kron, and whatnot. And I can list them right here, right? Let's see. Of course, when you talk about Beaufort Chambers in the legislative branch, they were elected. But Nati Kofod now has been elected deputy speaker, and then Albert Chair pro tem, right? But now let's go down to I won't talk about the justices. Well, those are appointed by the president. Jim Zeta Ward from Maryland County.
Dyke, I think if you want to help me out to ease the first caller concern that perhaps even though this might be considered crew government, whatever, proceed to be crew government, but that this person should not be so much concerned that Liberians perhaps are now a little bit sophisticated and they're not going to come around again with guilt by association. I think this is the concern of the first caller.
No.
So I will ask to help me to ease this brother mind.
Yeah, and let me let the brother know, like you said, nobody, as much as Liberians have been exposed, we've gone through the process that we went through, nobody is going to have this thing where we have this guilt by association and blame every crew person or every person from the southeast for lapses of this government or of the executive. But the reality is, for good or bad, the president and those who are doing the appointment are making this government heavily on the southeastern side, heavily on the crew side. I mean, let's look at the executive appointments that the guy listed here in one of the forums. Samuel Tware, Minister of Finance, Maryland County. Ledgerwood Rennie, Minister of Information, Maryland County. Piso Sedi Ta, Minister of Gender, Grand Juda County. Eugene Len Nangbi, now Commissioner of Maritime, Maryland County. Thomas Donan, Commissioner General, LRA, Grand Crew County. Sema Serena Cephas, Solicitor General, River G County. Aluscious Talu, Governor of Central Bank of Liberia, Grand Juda County. Wilson Tape, Director General EPA, Sino County. Lawrence Sakajibo, Chairman LERC, Grand Crew County. C. Mike Doyen, Managing Director FDA, Grand Crew County. Who's this? Herbie T. McCauley, Managing Director NTA, Sino County. Richmond Toby, Managing Director Letelco, Sino County. Patrick Sudu, Director of Police, Grand Crew County. Dr. J. Sawolo Nelson, President, University of Liberia, Sino County. Dr. F. Elliott Rare Wilson, President, Tubman University, Maryland County. Dr. Francis Kitte, Chief Medical Officer, of Liberia, Sino County. For full disclosure, Dr. Kinte is my brother, so nothing against him. Let's see, Diviera Brown Lansana, Commissioner NEC, Maryland County. Samuel Wulu, Minister of Transport, Sino County. Cecilia Coffey Brown, Managing Director, National Housing Authority, Granville County. And Cecilia Coffey Brown was one of the top UP people, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf people, said all kinds of things about George Weah, and now she's in this government. Why? Because she's associated with the Southeast. It is true. Let's admit it. Let's accept it, and let's see if perhaps we can create a government that is inclusive of everybody in the country, and not just just one-sided. We got to get away from that as a people in Liberia, where anytime somebody comes to power, they bring all their people in. And
but
whatnot.
let me push back. Let me push back. Not because I'm from the Southeast, but what happened to the merits? If these people are qualified for this position, do you want them to be rejected because they're from the Southeast?
No, not if there's merit. But let's face it. Some of these people are not here because of merit. I mean, I can go down the list. Apart from Dr. Kinte, I can go down the list. Celia Coffey Brown should not be a National Housing Authority. Celia Coffey Brown background is she sold cars for Kia, I believe, here in America, and she worked for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I don't know what Ellen Johnson Sirleaf for her at.
All right.
I mean,
okay, I give up. I give up. I just asked the question. We don't need to. No, we don't need to go through their bio right now.
There's no merit. There's no merit. Talu doesn't have merit. Some of these people don't have the merit. It's just straight Southeast.
Okay.
You know,
I just thought that I asked the question.
That's the bottom line. Yeah, it's not merit. We have merit, yes, but I mean, there's more people in our Liberian communities with merit. You don't have to make it heavily just one group of people. I mean, come on, Yeah. But I will go down the list.
But let me throw this red meat. Let me throw this red meat, and then you can. I know you're gonna chew it up.
Yeah, I love to chew it up with you. Let's go.
But what happened to politics or election have consequence? If you win the election, what to stop you from picking who you want?
Elections have consequences. When you win elections, it shouldn't stop you from picking who you want. But here's the problem. In a country like Liberia, where we're so behind, we're about 100 years behind America and most real countries. Where we're so behind, we should be looking at meritocracies. We should be looking at the ability to choose the best of the best, not to choose people based on because I feel like it or because of the Constitution. Even in this country where the Constitution says the president can do that, they have a system of how you go about appointing. You choose from a particular lot of people, and maybe our legislators have to do that. Where if there's a person that's going to be picked for, let's say, governor, you have to meet certain criteria. If you're going to be at the National Housing Authority, you have to meet certain criteria. We have to do that. Of course, law and medicine are so defined that if you don't pick somebody that's a doctor or a lawyer, you're in trouble. But other places we need to define some criteria where civil society and others are involved in the nomination process, and then the president can pick from a group of people that have the qualifications. But this thing where you just allow the president in a country like Liberia that's so backward to just pick anybody that he feels like, it'll continue to make us suffer as a nation. Somebody like you should be in Liberia helping people at public works. You've got the criteria, but some other people over there don't know what they're doing.
But I'm from the Southeast as well. So how's that going to help the situation?
No. With you, nobody would be able to. I'm just saying, nobody would be able to look at you and say this man was picked only because he's from the Southeast. They will look at it and say, hey, this man was picked, even though he's from the Southeast, he's got the qualifications. But I'm telling you, of these 20 people, you can go and pick them person by person. You'll be hard-pressed to find many of them in here that were picked solely because of their qualifications. Most of them were picked only because either their affiliation with president, friendship, or because they're from the Southeast. And we can't do that. We cannot build a country like that.
All right. Okay, Doc. Thanks for your involvement, and I think our brother from New York most likely gonna feel a little better as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, you too. All right, folks. Let me just go ahead and give you one. I'm gonna play a video here where the two young girls from the Ivory Coast, Gio tribe from the Ivory Coast, will be singing for us here this evening. So after that, we will come back, and then if anybody call, we'll pick your call. Other than that, we'll say good night to all of you. But please, the wonderful news is Dr. Weir was in Grand Gita County today, and Grand Gitans overwhelmingly, just like they do during the election, I mean, look at the kind of welcome they have for the president this evening. Had it not been for Samuel Tour, I would have been out here playing video over video over video of the president walking in the street of Grand Gita, which is a wonderful thing because it just gives us a feeling of unity, let's put it that way. So, but anyway, let me just play these girls' music, and then we'll be right back. Samson told La Brown Public.
Ka jumel nou te benwen nou ine diade, nou yo diade neve inu. Ko corona ni kwa azu mu ben, kwa tension diade, ko kwa dom pa ye, dom pa ka kowe ko yen son karo diade, ka preska ka lu ko kwa tension de.
Samson told La Brown Public, what's your name, where you're calling from, what's on your mind?
Hello, Mr. Toll. This is Mr. Jackson calling from Massachusetts. How are you, sir?
Not bad, not bad. Go ahead.
Yes. I listened to the conversation, and it's a little bit thought-provoking, especially where one was enraged, because of Southeastern, and there are other people who coming in to defend. And I'm a little bit surprised, the last person who just spoke, gave us, analysis, of those who are occupying position in this current government from the Southeast. But I just want to, come back, when people are saying that, what happened, if they are qualified, or why it is that everybody coming from the Southeast. One of the things that people complain that they say, the war, it was necessary, it had to come, and saying that, that Samuel Kanye don't have all his people. We never have in all Crown people in this kind of, government. I'm not a Crown man, but I was at the university. I know very well who all were in those government. We never have all the amount of Crown people as it is today. You understand? And so people get justification. Then Ellen came, we start making issue that Ellen brought in, for people, down to her children. It became an issue for CDC. Today, I was surprised when the guys gave the analysis. I never heard it before. I knew there are some people from the Southeast, but there's a lot of people from the Southeast. Now, if we say we want to avoid issues in the country, we should try to start playing level-headed something. It doesn't mean to say all the people from the Southeast are the only qualified people. There are a lot of qualified people that are out there, both in Liberia and here. And you understand? And as the right guy said it, if you were to take on, even as public works minister, some of us who know you, personally, something, I will not look at you because you are from the South. I'm looking at you because of qualification. From what I knew, what you were doing for Sacramento to improve, I'm looking at quality. But if somebody gave me complaint, because they qualify, they will say, but why it is that you complain about Samuel Kanye and you complain about Ellen? Because although Ellen brought in, they were qualified down to her own son. Why we out of war, and we're trying to mend the wound, if people are trying to bring in, and people that they know from their own community or from their own region, then we must expect that the next government coming in, when they start to do it, nobody cries over it. We have to be careful. So the guy who was telling that, and what happened if they qualify? Yes, other people are qualified too. So there are a lot of qualified people. But if you want us, to be fair and honest, put it out there. Let qualified people bid it. You understand? We can't have, the president coming from there. You understand? We can't have the pro tempo. We can't have the chief, the speaker, the deputy speaker, the police director, everybody coming from the southeast. Then if Unity Party coming, if they start taking all the people from local, we shouldn't make any issue. I just wanted to ring that bell to people. So I will yield back, and listen to what other people have to say. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I got to play my music anyways. Thank you. Thank you.
Where's up in the toe? I'm back like you man the power. I'm featuring up to
Mon producteur Choco, Papa Canet Vincent.
Okay. Samson Tour, LeBron Pobrito, what's your name? Where you're calling from? You'll be my last caller.
This is Eliason calling from the state of Kentucky.
Oh, good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
You'll be my last caller. Go ahead.
I want to say thank you for the show you have tonight. Couple of I listened to, and the last issue discussed was very interesting to me. You know, the brother who brought about this, the government is being looked at as a school government. You know, I think he presented a good issue. So what I realized is that the way he presented them, the connection, to me, I don't think it's okay. Because he began with the government being called 419 government, because he see that Joy Weah had no money. In the short possible time when he was elected, he started building houses, his own properties. Then he came down to say, a lot of people from the southeastern region working in the government, holding big positions. Is it because of that he will say the government is 419? And what I want to say is that Liberian people need to change their mind around, especially when he made reference to Joe was president, and because Joe came from the crown actually grew, so therefore the worker and they have to go after crown people. I think this time around, Liberians need to change their mentality, because the leader will always come from somewhere. So you don't build on that because this leader from this place, so when something goes wrong, then we will go after that tribe or that section of people. I know that these people, the 20 person, where the gentleman just listed, they did not just come to the government, I believe, by appointment or election. These people went for confirmation. What happened to your house that confirmed them when the president appointed them? Are they not vaccinated enough to know that these people came from the southeastern region? So I tell almost everybody within our country don't doing nothing. They want to sit down and think and say that the government alone to do everything. It's we are doing everything. People you have in the house that representing you, they are senators and representatives are not doing nothing. They don't even seek the interest of the country in the very first place. So everything is not just being done on it's almost everybody. Look at him yesterday. He voted for this government 2 different times, and in 2012 he came to America. Tell me, if you were to be in Liberia and Nigeria to appoint you as a minister, if you say from the southeastern region, I'm not going to work, is that what you were going to say? Some of these guys come on to sometimes to make sure because they were not opportunity to work in the government. I know for sure case that when you allow this gentleman for Joy Weah to appoint him, he's not going to say I'm from the southeastern region, so I'm not going to work. Joy Weah balance the equation of the government. That's politics. Leadership is other people have interest in certain people who they think when they work with, they're going to do better. It's not everybody in Liberia you think that have to work in the government. The only thing I want people to say is that when these people are appointed to this position, they can do exactly what they're supposed to do to bring the government to the small nation called Liberia. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't really matter. The only thing I would see it is wrong is that when they are not doing what they're supposed to do, when they are carrying on corruption, when they are investing on the country money and our people are suffering, then we talk about it. But all these people like grew up from somewhere and they just have to work in the government. So why I think we are going to say, okay, let me find the entire government to come from the north side of Nigeria. Are they still going to complain about it?
Okay. All right, you're right. Thank you.
I think what should be our complaint is let the people do the right thing, regardless of where they come from. Let them seek the interest of the people in the country, Liberia. That's my concern.
I think you're right. Okay. All right, but these are perception anyway, and people perceive these things, and other people look at them, frown on those things. And other people are saying that the code of conduct is not being applied, and so this is just like you correctly stated. These are all thought-provoking topic, and we're here to have these kinds of discussion on the platform. And but we appreciate those of you that have the understanding to take the other side, to make sure you argue and that's good. That's what we're supposed to do. Talk about things, and even if it's not resolved, but at least we have a understanding of what is happening. But thank you very much for your participation.
All right.
Okay, guys. Samson told Labrador Public Radio, I'm out for the evening now. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and say thank you. Ikamona salite bakopandanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongoka. Kombo na ngai ekombango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga. Natula te ope nazanga te nazali na mobali oya kokanga na makambo maso nalingaka. Naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo banda lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga. Ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa. Ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa. Kobotalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki ikambo na sali te bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongonga. Kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga. Nazali na mobali oya kokanga na makambo maso nalingaka. Naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo banda lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga. Mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa. Ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa.
Nga na ye na tembe na lopango na bino kosukisa na ye popandanga polambanga posasanga polambanga pominya naye na tembe oh mama naye na tembe oh ekwekete ya mobali oyo nga na kokufela naye namona ye na tembe oh mobali yango kowapi ye natala na miso naye na tembe oh mama naye na tembe oh mama naye na tembe oh naye na tembe na lopambo na bino naye bobeta ngai naye tosukisa lelo ekwekese ya mobali ngai na bino tokowela sapato etengama simise pasuka na mokongo naye na tembe oh naye na tembe mwana naye na tembe oh na ye